after seeing the face-off, after seeing the press conference between Keyshawn Davis and Jamaine Ortiz, I'm starting to think that Keyshawn Davis is overlooking the threat of Jamaine Ortiz going into this fight. And the threat of Jamaine Ortiz is interesting because it's not power. It's not all out one punch knockout power where it's like, oh, Keyshawn Davis needs to be on it from, the moment the fight starts. I mean, which he does need to be anyway, because I think the threat of Jamaine Ortiz is that he's going to come in and try and rack up rounds and be very sneaky while doing it. I think that's the threat that Keyshawn Davis has got to watch out for. Ortiz isn't known for power. He's not known for, to be a big puncher. He's not known to just break you down. He's known to be in out, very elusive with his movement and his footwork, and be very quick. And, again, he's not a guy who likes to engage much in fights. And I think for someone like Keyshawn, that's something which needs to be watched out for and needs to find ways around it. Look, I have said I do believe Keyshawn Davis will win the fight, and it's going to be close. But Keyshawn Davis was like in that face-off to Jamaine Ortiz, you're much smaller than I thought you were. And it's like, I don't really think that's going to matter. And if anything, I think Keyshawn Davis is big for the division anyway. I feel like it's clear as day to see he's big for the bloody division. I'd say a bit of a weight bully, to be honest. He is big compared to Jamaine Ortiz. I don't think it's going to matter loads in the ring on Saturday night. I don't think it's going to matter loads. But I think stylistically, Jamaine Ortiz is a huge problem for Keyshawn Davis, and I don't think Keyshawn Davis realizes it as much as he should do. Look at what Jamaine Ortiz was able to do when he fought Teofimo Lopez. Look at how awkward he was. Look at the frustration that he was able to give Teofimo Lopez throughout every single one of those 12 rounds. Very, very, very frustrating nice work for him. For Lomachenko, again, frustrating for him. Lomachenko couldn't get a pin on Jamaine Ortiz whatsoever. And Keyshawn Davis might be thinking he's different here and he's stronger than both of those guys, which he probably is. He is stronger than Lomachenko. He is stronger than Teo. But overall, ability-wise, technical-wise, he's not better than either of them. Let's be honest here. And I think that is something that makes this fight interesting. And that is why Keyshawn Davis cannot overlook someone like Jamaine Ortiz, because he's proved he belongs at the level. Yes, I wouldn't say makes it ugly, because he's not got that ugly style. He just makes it frustrating. He makes it difficult. He doesn't want to engage with you, but he counters very well. He uses his footwork nicely, moves around the ring well, and you can't get a pin on him. You can't pin him down. And Jamaine Ortiz is very good at keeping up that pace for a whole 12 rounds. So I feel like it's going to be very difficult for Keyshawn Davis to get a hold of Jamaine Ortiz and try and, actually break him. I think that's going to be difficult. And I feel like, again, I do think Keyshawn will win, but if there's a fight which there could be an upset on this card, I think it definitely could be this one. And I think if people want to put money on an underdog, I think Jamaine Ortiz is your guy. I really do, to be honest. It's a very interesting fight, but I feel like Keyshawn's talking like he's moved past it already. And, because the thing with Jamaine Ortiz is that he's a star which you need to figure out. He's not a big name, is he? He's not a big name, even though he's been in there with Teo and Loma. And, there is losses, and, he went 12 rounds with Loma, he went 12 rounds with Teo. Not many people can bloody say that. But Jamaine Ortiz, again, he's a star. He's not a name. And if Keyshawn Davis, and I feel like that's what Keyshawn Davis is underestimating. That's what he's underestimating, because Jamaine Ortiz isn't a name. But he's a star, which can cause Keyshawn Davis problems and can really frustrate Keyshawn Davis without a shadow of a doubt. And Keyshawn Davis at points in this fight could definitely play into the hands of Jamaine Ortiz. I really do think he could, and surely he does realize, but I don't think he realizes as much as he should do, in my opinion. But I think Virgil Ortiz Jr. really does thrive in his fights when, opponents expect him to be passive, when people expect him to be safe, and when people expect him to not really be big volume. But again, when you get too comfortable with Virgil Ortiz, which I think Tio, again, when I say comfortable with him, frustrated, but he got comfortable. Tio got comfortable thinking, "Oh, nothing's really happening here." That's eventually when Jamaine Ortiz was also able just to nick those rounds and really take rounds from Tio, and had to Tio really had to dig deep to win, because he got, again, frustrated but comfortable, because he didn't believe that Virgil Ortiz, he didn't believe that Jamaine Ortiz would be able to do anything. And I see there being a possibility where Keyshawn Davis has that kind of mentality in this fight, where it's like, there's not loads going on. Ortiz's tag game is getting to him. Keyshawn's getting success himself, but he's frustrated, but also relaxed, thinking, right, surely something's got to eventually come, and he'll just wait for him to come in. But you won't be able to do that. Again, people either get too comfortable with Jamaine Ortiz at times, which, if anything, could that be more the case than Jamaine Ortiz actually frustrating Keyshawn? Could it just be the fact that Keyshawn Davis gets too comfortable with him in there, and that's when Jamaine Ortiz gets to take rounds? Either way, either way, I think it's possible. But again, I think the thing with Jamaine Ortiz is, I don't think many people realize how good he actually is, just because he just hasn't got the name. But I don't think people realize how top level skilled he actually is. And I feel like when this fight was first announced, people were like, "Oh, why isn't Keyshawn Davis up against a better guy?" But the threat of Jamaine Ortiz is real. And yeah, it's not the power threat, it's just the general ability threat that Jamaine Ortiz has got. He's a very bloody good technical boxer, a real top guy in the division. So his overall technical ability is ridiculously underrated. Ridiculously underrated. Ortiz has just got that style where he can make fights very close and competitive, and can even nick some against someone like Keyshawn Davis. In my opinion, he definitely can nick this fight. He just has the ability to make rounds look close, to frustrate you, and fights close. Just nick decisions. Honestly, it's going to be very interesting, but let's wait and see. But I think Keyshawn Davis might be underestimating Jamaine Ortiz here, and he cannot afford to do that.